Alright, welcome back. So I've come back up to the Alpine region in Victoria's northeast in Australia. It's some beautiful conditions this morning. Fog was predicted for the first few hours in the morning, so I thought I'd come up and see what I could find. So where I've come is to just the tip of Mount Hotham, and this is where it typically snows in the winter, so you've got a real dense alpine kind of terrain, landscape. And yeah, this is where I do a lot of my photography. I shoot a lot up here, and the main reason for that, other than it being very close to home, is just the landscape's stunning up here. Views, but also it's quite challenging as well, and I do enjoy the challenge that it's given me over the last few years. I'm still coming back, there's still shots to be found, and yeah, we get great conditions up here. So just coming into autumn, the cooler months, start getting quite a lot of fog around, as you can see from behind me. Yeah, it gets quite thick up here, the fog. And what it does is it really helps simplify a lot of these chaotic scenes. So I'll talk a lot about that in future videos, because it's where I'll probably shoot a lot of my my videos around here. I hope to go elsewhere, but yeah, a lot of it, as it's local for me, I'll probably shoot quite a bit up here. But yeah, what I do like to shoot is one of the types of trees that is native to the Australian Alpine region, and that's the snow gum. So if you're familiar with my work, you'll have seen I've shot a number of these trees before, and they are a real challenge to shoot, and it's taken me a long time to figure out how to actually shoot them. And when I say how to shoot them, what setting and what conditions are optimal for showing this type of tree and the environment at its best, really. And what I've found is during the autumn and winter seasons, when there's conditions that help simplify that scene, such as fog, which helps separate the subject from the background, the chaos, but also snow. Snow is great as well, especially for a lot of the kind of shrubbery on the ground. It helps simplify that. If you get a real deep, thick snow covering, that could help with that. But it also provides a bit of whiteout separation between the subject and the background. So I've found a subject I've actually shot before in similar conditions, but yeah, I'll come across it. The fog's nice. I couldn't really find anything straight up, so and I'll show you, I guess, the main reasons why I like shooting these trees. So let's have a look and I'll show you what I've got. All right. So what I've got here, you can see the snow gum. This tree's specifically, I've chosen it for this V shape that just crosses over these two trunks. And as you can see, there's a bit of colour there on the bark. So that's what they're known for, and that's why I just love shooting these trees, is because in certain times of the year, around the start of autumn and also around the end of winter, the bark on the trunks changes colour, and it brings out these vibrant oranges and reds. Sometimes you get yellows, but usually throughout the rest of the year they're just that kind of grey colour that you can see on there. So yeah, getting that nice, strong, vibrant, rich colour in the bark is what I'm looking for most of the time. And yeah, just as you can see, the environment around it, I'll zoom out, it's quite chaotic. So what the fog does in the background is it really helps simplify a lot of that mess there, and helps you really just focus on the tree, the main trunk. This is a main subject there, so it just really helps focus on that. And if you got snow around, you got a bit of snow, sometimes you get it on the trunks and covering the front. That's nice too. But yeah, in terms of shooting these, if you ever, I do get a lot of questions about shooting these trees. You know, what I'm looking at is really having the main focus being the subject. So the you know, the tree, the trunk. Try and find you know, a tree with some character to it. You know, what I'm looking for when I'm shooting these is colour, the character of the tree, the formation. You know, this one's really nicely balanced. That's why I decided to shoot it again, because I think I do prefer the one I've shot before, and I'll put that up on the screen when I show you this one, when I've edited it. But yeah, I just love the balance that this V-shaped trunk naturally provides. It's just, yeah, it's just such a nice tree. Yeah, just balance it out. Try and not include any sky if possible, but if you do have to, like in this one, then yeah, optimally, you know, shoot it at a time where there's, you know, good conditions that will kind of block that out a bit, like fog, for example. You know, in terms of my aperture, I try and keep it relatively low, enough to make sure that, you know, the main tree, but also some surrounding trees, such as, you know, this one here at the back, that's sitting behind this one, to make sure these ones all here are in focus. But then doing, you know, a shot at f7, f6.3, will soften the background as well. So that's just another technique to add to a little bit of softness in the background, to help soften a bit of the chaos in the background with the fog. So it's just helps a bit. So yeah, I'll shoot this one. I'll chuck it up on the screen. Tell me what you think in the comments, and yeah, I'll also show you the previous shot that I've taken. That was at the other end of the season, so at the back end of winter. So you'll see that the colours are a bit different, but yeah, it was shot on a foggy day like this. So yeah. Alright, so I found another composition. I couldn't find anything in terms of a wide scene. And I like to try and shoot the wide scenes when I can, because this is the best time to shoot them, when there's, something that's simplifying a scene. But whenever I can't find something that's wide, I usually try and go a bit more close in, a bit more intimate. And again, if you follow my work, you'll know that I probably split my photography between intimate scenes and medium to wide scenes. Not really wide, but more like your mid-range intimate scenes in a sense, if that makes any sense. Look at my portfolio and you understand what I mean. Anyway, so intimate scenes are something that I love to shoot. I love the way that it can really tell a strong story. It makes the viewer, it forces them really into showing them exactly what you want them to see. Usually with intimate scenes that are kind of like macro scenes in a way, but a bit more zoomed back out. Usually, if it's shot well, it's very obvious to the viewer what the actual scene is, or what the subject is. So what I've got here is another snow gum with some real nice colour coming out. I don't think it's a real peak colour yet, but what I did like was, I loved this strand of bark coming down. I saw it from way over in the distance, and I could see the colour of the yellowy greens as well. And in terms of a backdrop, there's not much of a backdrop, so zooming back out, there's not really much that I could see that could really work as a wide scene. So I've decided to go in close. So I'll show you what I've got here. Let's have a look. Try and darken it down a bit. So I've zoomed right in on the trunk, obviously, but made this section, the bark, a main feature. And I've kind of angled it coming from the bottom right up to the top left. And then if you can see those leaves, I really liked how those leaves there were kind of framing that side of the scene. There wasn't really much else, if you zoom back out, over there that was of interest. So I've kind of gone in even tighter, just tried to kind of frame it. And that's what I usually try and do. Once I've got a subject, I'll work with the subject, see how best it fits in the frame, and then once I've got that, I'll start thinking about what's around the frame. What is there anything that can actually frame it, such as these leaves? If I have it zoomed out, for example, it gives more for the eye to dart off to. So you kind of want to lock your viewer in, be forced to look at this, and that kind of helps frame it. Down here I might try and darken that in post a little bit, just to make this the center feature. And I really like that real strong white there, with the reds and the yellow, real distinct colors. So yeah, I'll have to focus stack this one, so I just zoom around. That thing's really annoying. Just dot around, do a few shots around here, just because I'm in quite close. In terms of focus stacking, I'll probably get more than I need, just to be safe. So what I'll do is I'll usually I'll find a scene, a spot on there, I'll zoom in, get that, and then move the focus point around. If it's soft, just go there, and if I move it again, if it's not soft, then I'm fine. So I might take 4 or 5 shots, probably won't need that. but just making sure that you're getting, you know, exactly what you want sharp. You know, scenes like this, you probably want it all sharp apart from in the back. That helps, you know, soften the distractions. But you know, you want all this sharp, you know, you want those leaves sharp. The stuff at the back doesn't really matter too much. Yeah, you know, in terms of aperture, you could probably go up a bit. I've got it on f7. I could probably, you know, go a bit higher. Doesn't really matter, as long as you know you're getting everything you need. I'm shooting this with my 24 to 105. Yeah, I love that lens. It's such a good focal range for this sort of stuff. It covers, you know, the scene that I shot before perfectly, and it covers this as well, so you can zoom in quite nicely with it. So yeah, this lens, it's probably on 90% of the time when I'm in this type of landscape. So yeah, it's a great lens. All right, I'll get this shot and I'll put it up and let me know what you think. Cheers.